We have a lot to talk about. Lewis Hamilton to Ferrari, so let's just roll the intro.
Yo, thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Daniel.
What's happening, guys? My name is Grim. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about Lewis Hamilton's move to Ferrari. And honestly, man, I don't even know what to say. Well, listen, I read the news. It came out on Sky Sports F1 on the Instagram page saying that Lewis Hamilton's going to move to Ferrari. Now, places like Sky Sports F1 are saying this is going to confirm and this is happening. I was like, okay, so this must be confirmed. Like, it's going to happen. And I was just waiting, and then I see the news that Toto Wolff has called the team, a massive team meeting, and then I'm like, okay, Lewis Hamilton is leaving Mercedes and going to Ferrari in 2025. Now, let's backtrack a little bit. Last year, 2023, there was rumors that Lewis Hamilton had signed or was going to sign for Ferrari for this season and next season, but he ended up signing for Mercedes for a 2-year contract. Obviously, he had a clause where he could leave after 1 year, and obviously has used that clause already. Over the years, as Formula 1 fans, we've known Lewis Hamilton Ferrari rumors have been circulating multiple times throughout a Formula 1 season, so it isn't really a shock to all of us that Lewis Hamilton and Ferrari talks have always been happening, but they've always really been rumors, and Lewis Hamilton has been putting them to bed. But every time that sort of happened, Merc have been dominating, and Lewis has said he's never wanted to sort of leave the team. Even last year, saying he wanted to end his team or end his career at Mercedes. But now we know he's going to end his career at Ferrari. I always had a feeling that he would leave Mercedes one day and go to Ferrari, do a Fernando Alonso, for example. I'm not going to lie, Lewis Hamilton did make the sport a little bit boring back when he was really dominating the sport of Formula 1. A lot of younger fans won't realize that, but it sort of did happen. Pretty much the way, I guess, Vettel done it in Red Bull and the way Verstappen is doing it sort of now, right? Is making the sport a little bit boring. But although rumors were always circulating Lewis Hamilton to Ferrari, now, what has sort of changed? Now, the question is, what's happening throughout the summer break for Lewis to break the contract and only stay at Mercedes for 1 year? Now, this makes me believe that the car's not going to be good this year. I always had hopes that maybe Lewis signing a 2-year contract means that, you know what, he's going to have a chance to come back and fight Verstappen for this season and maybe next season as well. That doesn't look like the case, guys. Looks like Max Verstappen's going to run away with this title and not going to look back. Now, will Ferrari be competitive this season? I don't know. Ferrari have told Lewis Hamilton something the way Mercedes told Lewis Hamilton something back. When Lewis signed to Mercedes from McLaren, everyone thought that was a bad decision. Now, no one thinks it's a bad decision going to Ferrari. Now, I feel like it's great for Lewis Hamilton to do that, to really ramp up his career. Multiple drivers have done it, like Sebastian Vettel, Fernando Alonso, and, you know, stuff like that. Now, it's going to make Lewis Hamilton an even bigger worldwide name, even loved even more. And the thing is, Lewis Hamilton has this type of luck in Formula 1 where he goes to a team and they end up really performing. Happened at McLaren, happened at Mercedes, and will it happen at Ferrari? So we're going to have to wait and see. I think Ferrari fans are really waiting for another championship since, you know, Kimi Raikkonen's last win in 2007. Now, I personally want Lewis Hamilton to do 2 more years at Mercedes, then go to Ferrari for 1 or 2 more years to have Lewis Hamilton in the sport for 4 years. What does this mean now? Now, we are actually getting closer and closer to a Lewis Hamilton retirement, unfortunately. Now, the contract did say, or Ferrari did come out and say that the contract is a multi-year contract, apparently. So, we're going to have to wait and see what contract does come out with Lewis Hamilton and Ferrari. But what I will say is that we are near the end of a Lewis Hamilton career, I guess. We've finished the Mercury, we've got 1 more year of that. And the one thing I am happy about, guys, is that we will see. The one thing I am happy that Lewis Hamilton did announce it early. And the thing is that we get to enjoy his last year at Mercedes and look back on what he did and look now and look to the future. Now, I would love Lewis to fight Max for the championship now, honestly. If he could win an 8th title with Mercedes and get that championship back that I guess was stolen, even though I think Max, you know, deserved that title, that's another story. But the championship that was stolen, win an 8th title, then go to Ferrari and win a 9th, that would be absolutely crazy. But does it look like it's going to happen? Probably not. So we're going to have to wait and see what happens with all that. But I want him to do his 2 years, then obviously do another 2 years at Ferrari, and that's his 4 years. There you go, Lewis Hamilton, gloves are off, and that's it. Thank you. That was a great career. and 7-time champion or whatever, 8-time champion, maybe 9, who knows. But yeah, that's what I personally wanted. So what this means now, like I said, Lewis Hamilton is at the end of his career. It's his last year at Mercedes. The Mercedes era is pretty much finishing. This is it. And we're going to a new Ferrari, maybe 1, 2 years, maybe 3 years maximum. I reckon it's going to be a 2-year contract. And then that's it. Lewis Hamilton is done and dusted from the sport of Formula 1. Now, this is also going to bring a lot of friction this season, guys. Now, what I will say is that George Russell and Lewis Hamilton, there won't be as much sharing, I guess, with, the way the package is going to be developed. And there's going to be maybe a bit of tension between Toto Wolff and Lewis Hamilton. I don't think too much. I feel like they're going to be a mutual agreement. They're both mature and understand what's going on. But there will be a sense of like, okay, maybe one race, Lewis will have to move over for Russell. And, Russell will be the number 1 driver, obviously going into Merck's future right now, unless a young buck comes in and then obviously outperforms Russell. But, even if Russell outperformed Lewis will always be number 1, winning 6 championships with the team, 7 constructors titles, stuff like that. So that's interesting to see what happens there with the friction between team and plus friction in Ferrari as well. Carlos Sainz is out. Now, I always had a feeling Carlos Sainz was going to go out because earlier this year or end of last year, there was an article that I read saying in Carlos' contract this season, if he doesn't perform, he will be kicked out of Ferrari, or there was a chance of them able to get rid of him in these clause or whatever. Anyway, long story short, they didn't have to use it. They're giving him his last season at Ferrari. It's all confirmed. And now Carlos is going to have to perform this year and find a new seat going into 2025. Now, we know Lewis is going to Ferrari, partner with Charles Leclerc. But where can Carlos Sainz go? Now, there's talks of Aston Martin. There's talks of Audi. There's talks of Williams and maybe the Mercedes seat too. But where do I see, or even Red Bull actually, where do I see Carlos Sainz actually going? I think that he'll go to Audi. Now, Martin Brundle made a good point. He probably doesn't want to go to a new team. Let's be real. The new team Audi is not going to perform. They're not going to be world champions. The likely chance of that is really, really low. Unless they do like a Brawn GP, which we highly doubt. But Carlos Sainz, best career move right now would be to try and join Red Bull and team up with Max Verstappen and try and win a championship there with Max. Will it happen? Probably not. I can see other drivers maybe going there. But he has been teammates with Max before. He was part of the Red Bull program and was part of the Red Bull family before. And as we know, Red Bull took back Daniel Ricciardo. They might take back Carlos Sainz. Carlos Sainz is such a quality driver, getting the only win last year besides Max Verstappen at the Singapore Grand Prix for Ferrari. So, he does perform. Does he deserve to be kicked out of Ferrari? No. But who are they going to pick? A 7-time world champion or Carlos Sainz, a race winner? There we go. They're going to take the 7-time world champion all the time. And then between Charles and, I guess, Charles has been there much longer, done all what he has to do, proven what he has to proven. And we all thought actually Ferrari's future was Charles Leclerc. It's obviously not. There might be friction between Charles and Lewis. And who do I think will get the better? I don't know. And I can't wait to see the 2025 season. We haven't even started 2024, but 2025, everyone is so excited to see what happens between Charles and Lewis. But like I said, we're going to enjoy every single race Lewis has at Mercedes. And this is it. The final rodeo for Lewis Hamilton, Mercedes, Toto Wolff, and all the gang. So this is it for Lewis Hamilton and Mercedes. Now, where can Lewis Hamilton win an 8th title? Will it be this year? We don't actually know until we get to the first race, but more likely not going to happen than it is. But if it does, Lewis Hamilton can win his last 8th title at Mercedes. But more likely he can win his 8th title at Ferrari. Also, no one's even been talking about this. There was rumors that Lewis Hamilton could partner Max Verstappen at Red Bull. How close were the actual talks, guys? Because they all came out and said no. But they also said no about Lewis Hamilton joining Ferrari. And what happened? So I don't know, were the talks really close between Christian Horner and Lewis Hamilton? I don't know. So no one's really talked about that, but it sort of came across my head and we don't know. But that's interesting to talk about that too, I guess. But anyway, Lewis Hamilton's 8th title could either happen at Mercedes this year, which I highly doubt, but more likely to happen at Ferrari. Now, the final seat at Mercedes, who's going to get that seat? Now, it's between me personally, I think Mick Schumacher, Carlos Sainz, Esteban Ocon, maybe Sebastian Vettel. He's in talks. I highly doubt that one. And Fernando Alonso. Also, Alex Albon is in the discussions too. I don't think Albon will go there. He's performing. Unless he performs really, really well this season, there's a chance. I don't think Albon, though. I think the more likely out of all of them would have to be either Mick Schumacher, Esteban Ocon, or Fernando Alonso. I think what they should actually do is put Fernando Alonso in the Mercedes for 1 or 2 more years. And I guess Alonso's out of Formula 1. He'll be done and dusted. He's done. Career finished and retire, does what he has to do, and then maybe chuck in an Ocon or a Mick, where Ocon can go there. But if Ocon does go to Mercedes, then that opens the door for an Alpine driver, and we all know Mick is driving for Alpine in one of the endurance series, so Mick can go to Alpine there and opens the door for Mick Schumacher. And as we know, Mick Schumacher is a 3rd driver for Mercedes and could possibly get that seat next to George Russell. There have been high talks of Mick Schumacher throughout Mercedes family, and Lewis Hamilton and George Russell saying the work Mick's put in is absolutely unbelievable and absolutely great. So they're the options going into the Mercedes seat. Who do I personally think will get it? I think it's going to be Fernando Alonso, to be honest. I think he's going to leave Aston Martin. And then I think it's a tie between Ocon and Mick Schumacher. I don't know how between them two, but we're going to have to wait and see what happens. I think a lot of people are going to be knocking on the door of Mercedes and calling Turner Wolff's phone to try and get that seat at Mercedes. So yeah, they're all my points, guys, going into this news that Lewis Hamilton has joined Ferrari. Was I shocked? Yes, I was. Don't get me wrong, but I more expected to happen in a couple of years' time, not as recent. So I'm excited. You're excited. Lewis Hamilton to Ferrari. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens in the 2024 season. I personally think Max Verstappen is going to dominate. I think we'll see Lewis Hamilton, get a couple of podiums with Mercedes. Hopefully get his last win at Mercedes, and that could be the end of the era, Mercedes era. Let's wait and see what happens. Lewis Hamilton to Ferrari. Guys, I was supposed to drop a half-scale video today, but obviously that didn't happen because I want to make this video. I had to let my thoughts process, read all the articles, listen to all the news and podcasts about this, and then come to a quick video and discussion to you guys about the whole situation. So that's why I made this video a bit later, just to really give you guys my thoughts about Lewis Hamilton joining Ferrari. So that's it. Hope you guys did enjoy. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next Formula 1 video. Thank you.